Welcome to Vanfluence. In this series, I'll share a beginner's perspective on how to plan for and execute on an adventure vehicle project. I'm no expert, but I can certainly share what I've learned to this point to help anyone just starting out to give their project some wheels to move, literally and figuratively. While I can't guide you in the actual build, I can certainly try to help you think of how to get to that point, and all before you start spending. So get your notebook out and follow along with this easy series. If we could all afford adventure vans, we'd have them. Am I right? The fact is that we're talking about something between purchasing a new vehicle as well as a small home. For most of us, the answer to the challenge is budgeting. No matter how smart you are with money, when it comes down to it, an adventure vehicle is a significant investment that requires a significant amount of planning, but more obviously, a significant amount of saving. Be honest. How much can you really afford to spend on an adventure van project? This critical question sets the financial boundaries for your entire endeavor, providing a clear starting point for your financial journey. It's about setting a realistic framework for turning your van dreams into tangible progress. Before we get started, here are a few guidelines. First, avoid relying on money you don't actually have, like credit cards or loans. While tempting, this shortcut can lead to a dangerous debt spiral, turning your dream into a financial nightmare. It's crucial to understand that building your adventure vehicle should be a financially secure process. Second, avoid relying on money that you think you're getting or are waiting to receive. Depending on uncertain income sources can lead to unforeseen shortfalls and jeopardize your plans. It's vital to remember that your budget should be grounded in the present, not future hypotheticals. Budgeting with money that you don't actually have access to is a recipe for disaster. Success lies in working within the constraints of your existing financial resources. Your budget should be a reflection of your current financial reality, not wishful thinking about future income, and credit limits don't count. As an exercise, consult your finances and grab a piece of paper. Write your absolute non-negotiable budget figure for what you can spend on an adventure vehicle. Or if you're savvy, open a spreadsheet and enter the number and be prepared to use the minus function to subtract costs. Before you start crunching numbers, keep in mind that this exercise assumes that you're trying to attempt at least some of the build process yourself. If you've written down a number in the six-figure range, you may want to consider purchasing a new vehicle or a custom used one because of the wide availability and popularity of adventure vehicles. Perhaps skip this lesson and just begin shopping. On this note, there are more and more custom builders out there that work with a variety of budgets. For those in the six-figure or high five-figure range, builders like Off-Highway Van have top-of-the-line models with various floor plan options. The trade-off with most builders of this type is that you don't have customization within this price range, but you can certainly expect to get a high-quality build from your purchase. If you're in the mid-5 range figure and under and want to shop, there are actually more options with builders than previously. Take Wayfarer Vans, for example, a builder that has customizable templated builds at very affordable costs and short build times. The trade-off is in the ability or lack thereof to make customizations that you would otherwise have with the higher budget builds. So now look back at the number you wrote down. Let's assume as an example that you are in the low five-figure range. Here's one way to look at how this budget might break down. Remember, it's not an exact formula, but it'll help you understand how to look at the money you have. And of course, it assumes that you'll handle at least some of the building yourself, or perhaps contracting specific work to be done. Plan on allotting at least 25% of your budget for purchasing a vehicle. In this price range, you're most likely looking at used with a fair amount of mileage. But if you do the right shopping in your area, you might find something in great condition for a conversion. In all likelihood, you'll find something in your desired price range, but it'll need a little work done. This may be under the hood or something else that directly affects the drivability. For this, set aside 10% of your funds. It should also be pointed out that this will be a sliding scale of percentages. Less money spent on a vehicle might mean more money spent on repairs, or vice versa. To this point, the amount in the budget is crucial because without a working vehicle, an adventure is out of the question. We'll continue in this fashion by prioritizing the budget amounts. Up next would be beds and seating, which could use 15% of the budget. In the rare instance that you don't plan on sleeping in your vehicle, you may fold this amount into other categories, but most likely this should be a priority. In terms of importance, the next category to budget for would be components and devices. Essentially, it's a lot of the electrical and mechanical devices that make your vehicle livable, like an AC unit, vent fan, power setup, and peripherals like lights. Plan on at least 25% of your budget going to these items. Since a kitchen and bathroom/shower can vary depending on your needs, this category would come next and should be allotted at least 15% of your budget to account for decisions like whether or not to plumb your vehicle for water needs. And a kitchen setup might be as minimal as a Dometic freezer or a fridge-freezer combo. And you might not opt to have a bathroom or shower space. The last 10% should go to floors/walls/ceiling. By this we mean the interior surfaces and the aesthetics and function you desire. This is put as the last priority mainly because for some on a budget, there's no want to add insulation and paneling in place of the existing bare frame. These no-build conversions are common and often focus on the features within the living space itself. Based on this example, a $20,000 budget would afford you $5,000 in vehicle costs, $2,000 in repair costs, $3,000 in seating/bed costs, $5,000 in component costs, $3,000 in kitchen/bathroom/shower costs, and $2,000 in floors, walls, and ceiling costs. Actual figures will of course be variable, especially considering the features that are important to you. Budget analysis like this is really a way to organize your planning so that you have enough funds for the right things. The great part of looking at your budget in this manner is knowing that if you spend less in one category, you can spend more in another. It's all relative. What is hopefully avoided is the disappointing realization that you can't afford what you really want. For example, if you have your sights set on a brand new Mercedes Sprinter to convert, your budget may be completely exhausted before you even get to the build stage. Spending more than you want on a vehicle will result in a lopsided build with lesser quality features and components in a new vehicle. Good budgeting gives you a clear picture of the end product. And with this vision, you can keep your eyes on the prize without too much time or money being spent. It's not only a good organizational tool, but a motivational one as well, keeping you moving towards that finish line that you can pass and officially be on your way to your next adventure.